Remember when we talked about bias as an important element in the writer's journey? Whether you are writing an expository factual essay or a narrative story, there is still a bias, a way that you have of seeing the same situation that anybody else would see, and you want to tell the reader about it your way. Now let's look at the tone. How is that established? How do we establish that bias? Well, we establish that with tone. What is tone? Tone is the words that we use in order to make the reader feel exactly the way we want them to feel. Let's look at a few examples of types of tone. Tone is exact, uses formal language, and we have a page for that in the course. So we know what formal tone is. Formal and relaxed formal are ways of expression that are used in different ways depending on the type of writing that I am constructing. For narrative writing, where I'm telling a story, I may have a variety of formal writing, informal writing, and relaxed formal. Relaxed formal is where my personality shines through, or the personality of my character shines through. In expository writing, relaxed formal writing may be where the character of the person I'm writing about shows through, my ideas about the topic shown through. Informal writing are various stages of how you communicate with text-like expressions. Rarely are those used or needed in the writing for this course, but that's just to let you know the difference. No matter what, unless I'm writing a story and I want to write that story and include some of these words, never use we, you, us, the vague they, we all, you all of us, or anything like that. Not ever. Now, when I'm writing a story, I may be able to relax that rule and use you, we, all, whatever, but I want to do it sparingly. However, in expository writing, where we are writing about facts, never, ever, ever use that. Now we have pessimistic. That is the type of writing that says, I don't, I think it's bad and getting worse. And we want to use words when writing pessimistic that are associated with negativity. You may want to use that pessimistic style. I see it in some of the journal writings about politics. They want to get clicks. They want to get people to read. People want to be afraid. People want to be, oh, the end is coming. And if that's what you're writing, then you want to make sure that your tone uses words that are very pessimistic. Optimistic, if you want to sell something, you want somebody to do something you want them to do, you want them to have an outcome that you would like to see, optimistic is the way to go. A positive light, positive words. Again, an important distinction. Optimistic does not mean that I pretend there's no problem. Optimistic means I show that the problem, and I show it factually in my formal writing with facts, details, information, and then I switch into an optimistic tone when I tell people what they can do to help. And I use optimistic words. I never use we, you, us, our, the vague they, we all, you all, anything like that. I set the tone by saying what I'm going to do. And when the reader reads my writing, maybe they'll be inspired to follow suit. I learned that I could contribute to this cause by donating to the Research Institute. End of story. That's optimism. Tense means, particularly in narrative writing, we want to use words that keep the reader on the edge of their seat. Even in some expository writing, a tension of what's going to happen if we don't do something. I don't think it should ever dominate the writing, but a little bit of attention keeps that reader engaged. Curiosity and concern. The important thing about concern is presenting the reader with information that allows the reader to say, that's what's going on. I did not know that was what's happening. Oh my goodness, I need to do something about this. What can I do about this? So concern never uses we, you, us, our, the vague they, or anything else. Curiosity and concern presents facts to the reader in such a way that the reader becomes concerned and is looking for the solutions that hopefully are presented in the essay. Uplifting. Using uplifting words. The statistics show that if I lend a hand and I help clean up the beaches today, within a year, the coastline can be cleared and 75% of the trash can be removed. Uplifting things like that make the reader inspired. Uplifting images. And of course, that's all in qualitative, and you've read that information too. But images that make the reader feel good and feel good about what they can do or feel good about the information, that's uplifting. Aggressive means really getting in there and presenting distinct facts, absolutely undisputed facts, because aggressive has been used in the area of malinformation for a long time. A long time. A lot of things are written that are simply not true, and they're written in hyperbolic language. In other words, they're way over the top, and that's aggressive language. If you want to use aggressive language, you certainly can. Make sure that every fact you say is documented with clear and consistent research. Assertive means I am taking a stand. This is what I am going to do. I assert myself into this situation. I am not a passive person in this situation. I am going to contribute to a solution. I'm going to move forward. In narrative writing, when writing a story, an assertive protagonist is the best. Even if it's a protagonist that's unsure of himself, like Harry Potter, an unwilling hero, he is still assertive in the way that he handles himself and handles what comes his way. And so that's what assertive writing is. Informative, again, facts, facts, facts. We're working on that throughout this semester. Factual statements based on fact. I've gone over a few things in other videos about, they say that by the year 2029, who are they? They who? Studies show that people are getting sicker by the day. What studies? What people? So informative needs to be clear, distinct facts with resources, with citations that show where those facts originated. Entertaining, fun, entertaining language that makes people laugh. This is where your personality can shine. And in relaxed formal writing, you can show your personality. You can show your wit, your charm. In expository and narrative writing, when you're writing a story, it should be filled with entertaining language. Even if it's scary, it's still language that paints a picture, using words to paint that picture and make it exciting. Sarcastic, there's a great place for sarcasm, and there's a little more information about sarcasm, but that is really taking a cutting edge approach to the subject matter and writing sarcastic responses to whatever was said or written. And in narrative writing, it is a character that is probably not very lovable, but has something sarcastic to say about everything. Cooperative, and this is the challenge in cooperative, means these things can be done to work together with other people to get something accomplished. And you still have to do that without using we, you, us, our, vague, the vague they, we all, you all of us. What you can say is the action committee has worked together to come up with some proposals, and those ideas are presented here. So it's a committee of people. It's not we, USA. It's a committee. It's being specific about what that is. I know it's challenging. It's challenging for me too. And those are the types of tone setting. Now down here at the bottom, I have a nifty little link where are some free PDF downloads for you to download. Here's one of them. The link includes a number of PDFs that you can download for free that are study guides as you might need them, or you can just look through them and see. But these are words, actual words that you can use to create tone. So I know I read those kinds of things and I think, tone, that sounds good, but what do I actually do? And what we actually do is actually use the words that are associated with that tone. I just want to wrap this video up by showing you an example of how tone can change with specific words. And I'm going to use a narrative example. I'm telling a story. So let's look at a couple of different ways, and then we'll end out this little video. Looked lovingly at Dawn, laughed and chimed, "Oh, Dawn, I hate you. Call me tomorrow." Do you hear the tone in that? By using the words laughed and chimed, you hear sort of a little lilting voice with those words. Narrowed her eyes and scowled at Dawn. "Oh, Dawn, I hate you. Call me tomorrow." Okay, so you can see narrowed her eyes. You can see that by painting that with the words. Scowled is a good word to show that kind of a tone. Turned and dramatically opened the door. She glanced back over her shoulder and looked at Dawn's puzzled face. "Oh, Dawn, I hate you. Call me tomorrow." So you see dramatically, you see the use of words that elicit a different tone. Tears streaming down her face, shouted up to Dawn, who stood atop the mountain. "Oh, Dawn, I hate you." As she noticed the inquisitive crowd gathered around her, she mumbled, "Call me tomorrow." Okay, so that shows you some different ways to use tone and the words to elicit an emotional response from the reader. This tutorial on tone. It is so important that you go back to that learning style that you discovered in the very first week of the course, and then start thinking about how you arrive at the perfect word to elicit the tone that you want to make your point to the reader.